Hi, this is Devasis Rao. So, in the previous session, we learned about modifiers. If we go through, let us save this one first. Variables. So, for the part of accessibility modifier that we learned in the previous session, we learned about the definition part and the accessibility level and about the keywords that will define the accessibility modifier like private, protected, public, and default. We learned more depth on the protected part, and we also learned about the public modifier, how it is being used. What is the default one, default modifier? And we learned about class level keyword, what are being allowed or not allowed. And we learned about the variable level, the things that will be allowed here and not allowed. Also, we learned about the method level, those are being allowed or not allowed. Like if you are defining a method, which type of accessibility modifier are being allowed. Please go through that session on the accessibility modifier. Okay. So today we will be learning a new thing for the Java, and that will be learning like variable and its types. So in this variable and the type session, we will be learning things like we'll be learning like the definition part. We'll be learning. Okay, definition part we'll be learning. Then we'll be learning like how can we create a variable. Then we'll be learning like limitation on variable. Then we'll be learning like defining, declaring, initializing, reinitializing, and calling using a variable. Sorry. Then we'll be learning types of variable. Types of variables in means like we'll be learning like there will be like method level will be there. Under method level there will be like things will be there like so we can use a bullet and so we can use all these are allowed. We can use method level we will be learning like things parameter, then local, then final. These things will be learning. So let me give here like this. Parameter will be learning, then local will be learning, then final will be learning. Okay. After that we'll be learning like after method level we have the class level is there. Class level is there. Under class level we will be learning the things like static, non-static. Then after static and non-static we'll be learning like under those we'll be learning like what is final, then what is transient, then we'll be learning what is a volatile variable, which variable we called as a volatile variable. Okay, these things we'll be learning, and also moreover we will be covering the concepts like what will be the rules on local variables and parameters, and we'll be covering like what are the modifiers allowed for a variable. Like this point we have already covered in the modifier session. So, or here also we will once again just go through once so that we will have the recherished memories of the modifier of what are the modifiers to be allowed for a variable, all those things. Then we'll be covering like default values for variables. Then we'll be covering like lifetime and scope of a variable. Like we'll be also covering how many members we can define inside a class. Okay, these things we are going to be covering all these things. Okay, we'll be going session by session. Maybe it may be one session per variable, maybe like 4 or 5 sessions may be covering because these are lot more conceptual things. Okay, we'll be not going through like overview and going through all these things. We'll be going in the depth. Okay, we'll be learning the basics with examples. Okay, anything I am leaving among these points, please mention in the comment. Okay, so we'll be starting the session with the definition part. Okay, definition part will be starting. So, like variable is a named memory location. Okay, variable is a named memory location that is used to store data temporarily. So that during our program execution, we can modify that data. So that during program execution, we can modify that data. Okay. So variable is a named memory location. Named memory location means so like let's say we have a statement like this is there. Okay, let's say we have a statement like int is a data type. We have learned that thing in the data type session. Okay, so int I equal to 10 is there. Okay, here we can say that int we are saying that it is a data type. Okay, and I we are telling that it's a variable. So here 10 is held by whom? Is it held by int? Here this 10, whatever we are telling, it is held by int or it is held by I? It is held by I. So I is a naming. I is a name that is holding the 10 literal value. So it's a named memory location. So if we will create one memory for this one, if we will create a memory for this one, then it will be like this. So we'll be creating a location will be there, like 10 will be stored here, but but this location name will be what? This location name will be I. So what is a variable? Variable is a named. Variable is a named. This is a name. Named memory location, which is used to store data temporarily. This 10 is stored temporarily up to when the JVM is running. Up to when the JVM is running, then up to then only this 10 is being stored. Once the JVM is stopped, then this 10 will be destroyed. So it's a temporary location. Okay. And as this location have some name, so it is called as a named memory location. Don't just memorize the definition, just understand it. Okay. Sorry. So while we are moving to the next one is how can we create a variable? Okay. So the next one, if we'll move forward, how can a variable be created? Okay. So a variable can be created by using data type as we saw now int I equal to 10. Okay. So as we have two types of data types, we can create two types of variable. So how can a variable be created? A variable can be created by using data type. So as many types of data type are there, that many types of variable can we can create. So we have only two types. Sorry. So we have two types of data types are there. Okay. So how many types of variable we can create? We can able to create two types because those many types of data type will be there. That many types of variable will be there. So those two types are we also know that thing in our data type chapter. Those are primitive type and another one is reference type. Okay, so first one is primitive values. So what are primitive values? These variables are created by using primitive data type. Okay. So what is the next one? Next one is the reference variables. Okay. These two are have okay. I have written your values. Sorry, my mistake. Variables. Okay. So these variables are created by using referenced data types. Okay. So two types of data type are there. So two types of variables we have. Referenced and another one is primitive. Okay. So the difference between primitive and referenced variables is what is the difference? Primitive variables stores data directly. Okay. Whereas referenced variables stores references of the object, not directly. Okay. Not directly. Okay. So like we say the example we can get here. We have a class example is there. Okay, class is there. That is class example. Okay. So some variables are there like int I equal to 10. We have this reference type is there. Okay. And we have a primitive type also there. Okay, like int z equal to 20. It's there. Okay. So this is one type, this is another type, this is the reference, this is the, so this one is primitive one. Okay. If we represent this one as a reference type, then how we'll do that? So if we are going to represent this one, so I will represent it as a reference. So like reference data type will be there and its variable name will be there and the value. Like here, like in the above we have 20 is the value. So here the value is the new, means the object which you are going to assign. That is the value. This is the value part of the reference. And this is the variable. Same as the primitive only. Z is there, so here EX is there. Int is there, here example is there. Here example is the name of the data type, and here int is the name of the data type. Here int is the primitive one, here example is the reference one. Okay, these two types we have. So, what is the difference here? How the memory location have, like the difference we learned from here, like storing type of different is there. So, this one will be stored like this. This one will be stored like this, and a part of this one will be storing. Let's see. So, for this part, a box will be created. Okay, like I told previously, box will be created, and like the value will be assigned and name will be given. Name will be what? Z. So it's simple. Direct value it is being assigned. Okay. But for this case, what we are storing? What we are storing? We are not storing the direct value. We are storing the reference of the object. Here, what the EX will be storing? What this EX will be storing. Okay. That thing will be like this part. EX. What EX will store? What this EX will store? So, like we have a object is there, new is there. Okay, this new is there. So for that one object will be created, and every object have some address. So address, let's say it is 1010. The address is there like 1010. Okay. So this 1010 will be stored here. Object address will be stored. Means the reference value is the reference value, not the direct value. Direct value is what? Here direct, like I told, new example is similar to, why this is coming? This new example is similar to 20. Okay. This new example is similar to 20. So here 20 we are storing directly, but are we storing in the EX? Like here EX is same as Z, EX is same as Z. So like in the Z we are storing the direct value. Okay, this value we are storing here in the Z. But for EX, are we storing the new example here? No. New example is different one. That one is the object. But that object address we are storing here. So that this variable can point out its object. The object whose address it is being stored. 1010 is being stored, so it will point out to that object. So this is the difference between the primitive reference variable and primitive variable and reference variable. These are the differences. The storing part it is different. Okay, one note is there, and I will share all the notes. So a GitHub repo I will make soon. I will be sharing only in this session or maybe the next session I will be sharing. So note will be there. As for compiler and JVM, we do not have separate name called reference variable. Okay. Just it means the variable created by using referenced data type are also considered as like normal variable. So this statement means that sorry, normal variable. So this statement, like we tell that one type is reference and another type is primitive. But like for compiler and JVM, okay, for compiler and JVM, we don't have two types of things are not there. Like one is primitive, one is reference. Both those are only plain variables are there only. Okay. So there is no called reference variable is there. This is a fancy term, only we are using it. So here we are just telling that just to differentiate. Here we saw the storing type is different than this one. Okay, so because of that only we tell that this is a reference type, this is a primitive type. But, although all are same. Now I told you the similarity. Like int you can compare with example here. Z you can compare with ex over here. 20 you can compare with new example. Okay, all these are same only, but only to get it separated, we have told this. This is one is a reference, this one is a primitive, and you will all through your career, all through your software career or like teaching career, whatever career you choose for this field, for this IT field, you will get that there will be like primitive one, there will be reference to it. Okay, you will only tell only like that, but practically reference type of things are not there. Okay, so for creating primitive and reference variable, if we will go by example, okay. So I have opened my HTS. So like Java project will be creating variables. Okay, finish. Don't create module. Module I have explained also in the previous session. Module means similar type of package if grouped under one hood, means one shelter. We call it as a module. So we'll be creating one class will be there. Another class will be creating, or it will be creating a main method also. So side by side we'll keep it. For example, class we have like int x is equal to 10 we'll have, and int y is equal to 20 we have. Okay. And for this one, for deleting a single line in STS, we use like control plus D, okay, to delete a line. Okay. And here like for primitive one, int p is equal to 3, int q is equal to, in one method we'll be calling here. Okay. And for reference, string is one, a will be there. Just to for here we are calling M1 method, so we should create one method for that. So like static public modifier we can specify static. We learn like static and non-static. Those are also present in my video playlist. Like I have taught them in the previous sessions. Like I don't remember which session it was, but please go through the videos. Those are present in this channel only. Okay. Once again, I will be we will be learning all those things starting and non-starting. But please go through that. I have learned more in depth. Okay. M1 is there, and like we will be returning like 60. Okay, this one will be there. So, okay, so here we learn. Here I have created these two classes only to make you learn that how we create. Okay, how we create. Okay, so how we are creating variables. Okay, like we are learning only that part. How we are creating a variable. Here in the class of example, you can see these variables. Okay, these are present in the class level. Okay, I have also we have also discussed that what is class level. So these are class level. So we can see that in the class level we have specified these x and y. So this x and y we call it as a primitive type. Okay, because there is no new is there. The object, the sorry, the value assignment, there is no new is there. Only direct value we have been assigning here. Okay, in this case, a box will be created for x and direct 10 will be stored. In the case of this line, a box will be created for y. Box, I mean, I am telling only box to make you understand. It's the memory location. Okay, y for a memory location will be created and 20 will be stored. Okay, these are called primitive variables. Okay, here also int p equal to 50. This is a primitive type one, and int q equal to m1. So we are calling a method here. This is a calling method calling statement. Okay, we are calling a method. So this m1 method we are calling, and this m1 method have a return type int. Okay, you can see this. So you can see this. It have a return type int. Okay, so we here from this method we are returning value 60. So this 60 will go and will be assigned with q. Okay, so int q equal to 60 will be here. So in this place 60 will be in this place m1 method calling will be replaced by 60. Okay, and here in this case string is a class. Okay, maybe it's a predefined class. You can say string. We'll be learning more about string. So, like it's a predefined class, but it's a class. So, this one is a reference variable. Although you can say that, how can you call it a reference variable? Although after equal to directly a value is being assigned. No. Here we can see that a direct value is assigned, but internally this thing is being done. So internally a new object will be created and inside it A will be stored. Okay, that's why I have written this one. This thing and this thing is similar. This one and this one is similar. Okay, here and here it is same one. Okay, and example E equal to new example. We have learned that now. So yeah, once again I'm telling example E equal to new example. So like this, a reference will be created and an object will be created. Okay, so here I have missed the one thing. So here one box will be created. Inside it, 10 will be stored. Okay, 10 will be stored and the name will be like I. Okay, this works. So here we saw this one. Okay, primitive variable and reference variable. Okay, I'm just attaching this one. Please practice this one. Uh, okay, so we need the help of our snipping tool. So this we can say that sorry, reference variables are initialized with object references that is created and returned by new keyword. Okay, so here object. Okay, this one is that. So here new will be creating the object. Here new will be creating a object. This one. Okay, of type of example type. It will create one object and that type it will be sending back to EX. Okay, the reference variable. EX is the main variable. Like here Z. We are considering here Z. In this whole session, we are only considering this EX and Z, all those things. The rest all are like we don't consider those things because we will be learning, we have learned those things or we will be learning those things in future. But here we deal with EX and Z. Okay. Z is a primitive, EX is a reference type. Okay. So here's the thing. Please practice well and go through the video. And like next session onwards, we will be learning like limitation, defining, declaring, initializing, reinitializing, and calling and using a variable and all those things. Rest all those things we will learn. Okay. And thank you. Thank you for your patience. Goodbye.